So today, guys, we're gonna be talking about taking risk in life, man. Most of the time, we always want to take the easy way out. We don't want to like push ourselves and get out of our comfort zone. So today's topic is just gonna be when the last time you pushed yourself, right? When the last time you took some risk in life? And I believe that in order for us to go to that next level, sometimes there need to be some times that we need to take some calculated risk, and that's the only way
Yeah,
we can grow. We can just be so afraid to try something different, right? Because we're afraid of failure. So that's
yeah,
gonna be to the topic. So if you want to join, if you want to hop on live, just send me the request. I'm hosting a live today. Send me the request, and we can have you on there, and we can chat. And today we have a short stoppage. We're gonna be done by 8 p.m. So yeah,
yeah,
guys, join us and let's get started. Let me let me text Z to see what's going on. If not, we can you and I can just get started.
yeah. We could just start and let him pop in because I know he had to
Yeah,
pop out. Maybe. So,
yeah,
you know, yeah, if you want to hit him real quick.
yeah,
Has Caston always been a Chiefs fan? What's going on there, man?
yeah. Cass has always been a Chief fan though. Even back in
Oh,
college,
yeah.
he
Okay.
yeah he been
Okay.
going hard on the Chiefs. Yeah,
Respect, man.
but.
I guess it's every man has his time to shine.
You
PK, I see
already
you though, man. He's actually he's moving to New York. He's like mid drive, right? So
yeah,
he drove from Dallas to New York. You know what I'm saying? So I helped him with half the drive, and then I had to fly back. But he's like I think he's in Virginia right now, so he's on the way to New
right,
York, man. It's crazy. He's still locking in to do the live, even on like literally on the drive out to New York, man. So
right.
crazy times, man.
Yeah,
Crazy times, man. Making the big jump for the big apple, man.
yeah.
And that talk about some risk, boy. That's a
That's the
that's a
risk
that's a
right there,
risk right there,
right?
boy.
That's why I wanted Zenas to be on before we get started, right? Just to talk about,
That's a
just
fact.
dive in, with his current situation. But apparently, he yeah. But we can get started so that way, since we have a short time.
Yep.
So So what do you think, bro? What do you think is one of the main reasons, right, that we, myself included, right, we don't take risk in life? What do you think is that one of the main reasons that most of us don't take risk in life?
Man, I think it's simple, man. It's because you don't know what's on the other side of it, man. It's
Mm,
honestly like it's a lot easier to just play it safe, man. It's a lot you and especially like nowadays too. It's hard. It's one thing to take risks, and it's harder, like with the expectations of other people about you taking that risk, right?
right,
Everybody, it's so weird. We live in a world that everybody kind of has expectations of us, of like what the version of us that we should be or who we should be. You know what I mean? And that kind of like it kind of it sinks into us, right? When we're kids,
right,
if there's something that we want to do, we're just like, they're like, what do you want to be when you grow up? You are like, you just say it. You don't
right,
think about
right,
like, this is what they want me to say. This is what
right,
sounds good. My grandma told me this. You know what I
right,
mean? None of that. You just speak it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think as you get older, some of that just natural doubt sinks into you. And then, sometimes it's a lot of people are just uncomfortable with being uncomfortable, man. And
right,
taking risk is really uncomfortable, man. Especially like it's just over the course of time. If you like, let's say you're saving, right?
right,
Like you get into a mindset of saving,
right,
and then think about taking a risk with what you saved. You risking everything you saved. You know what I
right,
mean? And it's like I think
right,
the possibility of starting back is zero,
right,
and the possibility of people looking at you like you crazy or like you know what I mean, like you weird or that you know what I mean, or that you like just looking at you like you're embarrassing. Like you know what I
right,
mean? I think a big piece is just what other people think of people. I think that's the
right.
biggest piece.
Right. I agree. And I'll also say that just the thought about failure, right? The fear that if we try this, we might fail. So that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much deter us from like pursuing our endeavors. Because I ended down,
Yep.
I'm not quite sure how to do this. I might fail. So most of the people, most of the time now, we don't want to take that risk because we are afraid that we're gonna fail. And
Yeah.
which is true sometimes, right? By the end of the day, I believe that there needs to be some time that we got to take risk in if we're trying to move to that next level. Oh, let me see. Z is
Hmm.
asking me. Let's see if he's joining us.
Live from Virginia.
Live, Virginia in this building. All right. What up, Z?
Live from Virginia.
There they go.
Yeah, what's going on,
Pushes in
brother?
my nizzle used to dribble down in VA. Come on. Come on, man. I see.
H to the
Nah.
SL, B to the SL. No, so
Good, fellas.
we kind of we doing good, bro. We doing good, man. How are you though? How you feeling?
I'm
How's
good,
the
man.
drive?
You know, fresh off the drive. Nah, I made it out here maybe like what, like around like 7:30, something like that.
Right,
So, um, but cool, man. Just good, blessed. Made it here safely. That's
right.
biggest concern. So yeah, just here with fam. Just celebrating. Just
Uh,
celebrating life, man. That's what we doing, man. That's what we doing.
Absolutely. So to just give you a little heads up, Z, we kind of like started, right? And we were just talking about what are some of the reasons that most people don't take risk in life, right? And then Ramond shared his thoughts on that. And I was like, sharing mine before you interrupted, Z.
It's my
Before I
turn.
forget. I know. But no, it was good though. I wanted you to start, bro, because in the sense like you just leaving, leaving Dallas right now, driving to New York, bro. I just wanted you to just overall share that, like
Yeah,
your thought process. 'Cause most of the time, people don't do that. People don't take that leap of faith to actually like leave everything that they are comfortable with to like start over.
yeah.
So I just wanted you to like talk about the overall like what inspired you to make that decision and what your thought process right now while you're doing it.
Yeah,
And explain, bro, like what exactly you're doing first
Right.
too. Like explain what's going. You know what I'm saying, like,
yeah, yeah. So, well, first and foremost, this is like me taking a huge leap of faith, and this is just me going all in on everything that I've ever wanted in life, man. Like this is me swinging for the fences, like going for it all. And honestly, I think 2023 has been an amazing year for all of us, honestly, in a lot of ways, right? Um, I felt really inspired, like and just truly feeling like the stars are aligning in a lot of aspects of my life. But honestly, I think what really truly inspired this huge leap of faith for me to move from Dallas, where I've been for the last 4 years now, and moving to New York, is honestly just a big piece of that was Africa, bro. I think
Mm,
since Ramon and I came back from Africa, things have just been a lot different, and so I think that trip was very inspiring in a lot of ways. Like it was so many things, but like more than anything was reassuring. Like it was
right.
reaffirming. It let us know it helped us step into our power even more. Like step into who we truly are as brothers, as musicians. Just overall, just like who we identify as. Like I think it helped assert a lot of like what our identity is, and like the fact that we strayed from that for so long it was very well exposed, because I was just like, man, like what are we doing, like like and
Right.
I think asked ourselves that question, like what are we doing here, like like how do I want to identify? Do I want to identify as an account manager, or do I want to identify as a DJ, producer,
Right.
musician, entrepreneur? Like like the limits are limitless, at that
Right.
point, like so there's only so much that playing it safe will do for you in life,
Right.
and I felt like we've played it safe for quite a while now, like, and just like I know I have, and I'm one of
Right.
those who likes to be financially secure and everything like that, and that's a big staple of my life, is just that false perception of security. But I just realized none of that is it's not fruitful for me.
Right.
It doesn't feel like it doesn't do what I needed like to do in my life, and giving my life purpose, giving my life meaning. And this leap of faith is like truly just me going after all of it, everything that I've ever wanted, man. Like
Right.
that we've ever wanted, like all the people that we want to see do well, all the oops that we want to throw, all the lives that we want to change on a minimal and a grand scale. Like none of that is going to happen without any risk, right? you know
Facts.
with great risk comes great reward. And like if you continue to play it safe throughout your entire life, you're never going to go, like you're never going to take things as far as you possibly can take them.
Facts.
And that's the biggest reason why I think people don't take risks, is because they feel secure, they feel comfortable, right? Like it's just like, do I really want to wander from this like area of
Mm-hmm.
comfort, and like knowing that, like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, and delve into the unknown, and
Right.
where there's so much uncertainty, and like there's so much
Right.
there's just so much to question, right?
Right.
Like well, how do you know if this is going to work out? And how do you know
Right.
it's going to work out? And how do you know, like, you're not going to fail? Like, how do
Right.
you know you're going to succeed? Like, you know, there's just all these questions. It's just like, you know what? Like, I'm going to go out and just try, you know, like at the end of the day, I'm gonna just go figure it out. You know, I trust in myself. I trust in my abilities enough, my talent. I trust in the people who are around me, y'all included. Like I trust in my support system. I believe that we are able to accomplish great things and will. You know, we're en route to accomplish. We've already accomplished great things, but we're en route to accomplishing even like things that I honestly think 10 years from now that will be like, why didn't we do this sooner? You know, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
I think that's a big piece. Shout out to my Uncle Pernell.
There you go. What's happening, man?
Chris, what's up, Uncle? You don't know them.
What up, huh?
Yeah. No, but Z, you made a valid point, bro. Like leaving your manager position and like pursuing your passion. And one thing for me is like, bro, you can always go back. If let's say the worst happened, right? You can always go back to where you were at. But like not pursuing your goals and stuff, because time is so finite, bro. Like we're getting older every day, right? More responsibility. So I believe now is the time. Because if you don't do it now with more responsibility, it's gonna be a lot harder to do. So at the end of the day, take that leap of faith and go and pursue what you want to do, man. Because at the end of the day, you only have one life to live.
Yeah.
You know, so why not do it now?
And it's just like, you know, I think the thing is, it's just like we're fed so many things our entire lives, right? Like, you know, we're taught that we're supposed to go to school, get an education, you know, like, and then we're supposed to, you know, maybe do an internship, and then we're supposed to like go to work and like, you know, like work that job for the next 40 years of our lives, and you know, just settle down, have you know, get married, have kids, all that. This is what we're spoon fed our entire lives. Like this is what life. But I think everyone who's on here right now has probably like second guessed that at some point. Like, well, is that really all that like life is? Like I found myself asking that question since I was young. You know, like is this really life is? And it's just like I've had moments where like I sampled what extraordinary is, right? You know, like I think Africa was like a life altering experience. It was extraordinary on just so many different levels. When you've sampled that, it's hard to go. It's hard to go back to just like what quote unquote normal is, right? You know, it's just like, well, it's ghetto. Why am I going back to like? Why am I going back to being an account manager, bro?
What? For what? For real too? Like for what? You know what I'm saying?
Let's go to the comment a little bit. Let's go to the comment.
Yeah, we got a couple double comments real quick.
I'm afraid to take risks because PK said I'm afraid to take risks because if I lose everything. I'm on my own, and I have no one to catch me if I'm falling. I mean, that's a good point now. If you look at it that way. And then Casson said, I'm a firm believer that if you don't have people to support, take all the risks, because once you got family, taking those risks become even riskier.
That's a bar.
Yeah, that's a good point too. And then Marcus said, Big, you can be afraid to take risks regardless of the situation. I mean, I'll have to agree that, like, yes, at the end of the day, once you have family and people to support, I think you gotta, you know, be a lot more cognizant with the risks that you're taking, right? Because you have people to feel. But that shouldn't stop you from taking risks as well.
Absolutely.
I think maybe your risk got to be a little more calculated.
Exactly.
But you know what I mean?
I was gonna say there's nothing wrong with taking calculated risks, and I honestly think you should take calculated risks. I don't think you should just out here being like reckless, you know, like like literally just like leaping off of like nothing. Like, you know, I think a big thing for me was like the reason why I was willing to take this leap of faith and moving to New York and just obviously like pursuing everything that I've ever wanted is because I've also set myself up in a financial position where I'm like, I'm okay. Like, you know, like, and I know I'll be okay for a while.
That's a good point.
And which is also something too, like there's, you think of some of the greatest people, like who in our lifetimes who have accomplished great things, you know, like they went to the extent of like literally being homeless, like, you know, like, and I'm not advising anybody to go on that kind of like level of like risk. Like, I'm not telling you to go live out of your car and like, you know, like go figure it out. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Like, you know, like, however, that's something that I would be willing, like, I'm so adamant about what it is that I want in life and like about this vision and about this dream and seeing it through until the end, that if I did, for whatever reason, like end up homeless or whatever the case may be, I don't think I would ever be in that position. Because
Right.
to Ash's point and to, to Markel's point, like, like I have a great support system. So I know, like, like somebody would be like, bro, just crash on my couch, like at the end of the day, like I have to go like live out of like your car, or like, like go live in a cardboard box or something, like, bro, like nah, you can pull up, bro, like,
yeah, if you did that, it would be by choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
for real.
Nah, bro, I'm good. I'm gonna just, I'm gonna thug it out. I'm gonna figure it out.
No, it's
But,
true though.
like, that's the extent that I'm willing to go to,
Right.
is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not,
Right.
but I wouldn't advise that to anybody though. Like,
Right.
like I'm just saying, like me, myself, I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, I'm willing to go. This, like I said, this is me swinging for the fences. Now, granted,
Right.
I've set myself up in a financial position where I'm really good.
Right.
Like I'm straight,
Right.
so I have cushion, like, but,
Right.
but I also know that like not everybody is in that position, right?
Right.
Like in sometimes, like people are just willing to take a little bit more risk. But like I do, at the end of the day, feel like you should be calculated with everything and be very intentional about everything that you do.
I mean, that's true though, because at the end of the day, I feel like once you are intentional, then it makes it a lot more easier. But however, man, I still believe, regardless of the situation, you can just allow your current situation to just limit you in a box.
Yeah.
Let's say if you are somebody who is going through, if you don't have anyone to support, you don't have the support system. Still, if that is something that you really want to do, if you're afraid to do that thing, go and figure out a way to do it, right? You might not go all in. Like for me right now, I'm still pursuing entrepreneurship, right? That's the risk I'm taking. I haven't quit my job fully yet, but eventually that's something I'm gonna do, right? But it just, those things takes time, bro. Even like for me, just coming to Colorado, because when I went to high school in Philly, and then after graduation, I was gonna stay there because all my friends were there, my family were there. I didn't know no one here in Colorado per se, and I was like, man, because my mom moved out here to Denver. I was like, you know what? I don't know no one in Denver, but let me just go to CSU. I applied to CSU, but like the first year, I was in Fort Collins by myself. I didn't know nobody. Like winter break, while everybody was going home, family, I was in the dorm, just hanging out. You know what I'm saying? And look at my life today, right? I feel like I met all the good close friends from CSU just by leaving Philly and just coming out here and starting over. And I look at my life right now, I have like good and quality people into my life. So, other people might look at that. It's not like a huge risk.
No,
But
it
for me, not
is.
knowing no one here, and then like having, in Philly with all my friends I went to high school with, who could have been in the same college, but I decided to like take a whole different route, pivot, and came to CSU, and look at my life has changed. And that's just not something that we. Go ahead, Z.
No, I was just gonna say you're welcome because we're friends now.
That is true. It's true though. It's true. Like, I got the rich friends, man. So I think that's why I think it's very, very important. Sometimes we just have to, no matter our situation, we just still have to be a little more cognizant, especially if you have family, you have people to take care of. But that shouldn't deter you from taking that risk. Because at the end of the day, if you don't, your life will be in the same situation. And I believe in order for us to alleviate, in order for us to like go to that next level, we have to push ourselves in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely. We gotta be willing to push boundaries.
I wanted to just tap in on something that you said, Diamond, because it was super kind of, it was dope when you was talking about like even the idea of taking a risk means that you're thinking about doing it.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like everyone has like their idea of what a big risk is, but that kind of means if it's a big risk that you're thinking about, it's probably something that you actually do want to do. You know what I mean? Nobody's thinking about taking a big risk for some shit that they don't want to do. You know what I mean? So like the idea is already planted, and it's like it's a risk, but it's something that I want to do. And I think that's the biggest piece, man. You even hit it on it too, Z. Is like, how do I want to be identified for real? Like life is so short. Do I want to be like an accountant? Like I'm an account manager when I go back to work, right? In Africa, we were like artists. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we were like fully artists. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, from the lifestyle, from the way that we were set up, from like, from, rehearsals to, you know what I mean, the performances at the festival to just, and it just opened up to like us living how we actually want to live while we was out there. And it's just like the risks are usually things that we actually want to take. You know what I mean? And another thing that Diamond hit on that I really liked was he was talking about like calculated risk is so big. It's like sometimes we can scale down in order to take a big risk, right? Z,
Yeah,
you said over
absolutely.
time, you probably, I won't get too much into your business, but you made investments that would allow you to make a big jump and be comfortable while you did it. You know what I mean? If you make 3,000 a month and you could, save 200 as opposed to $50, we save 200 over a year. You know what I'm saying? That's 2,400 that maybe you could take a bigger risk on. You know what I'm saying? So I think just thinking like that is big. It's like to like take a calculated risk then. You know what I'm saying? Like scale back on one piece of life in order to save up to take a bigger risk. You know what I'm saying? I think that's important though.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not everybody, like you said, like not everybody's ready to live out their car
Right.
and go like that. And like you said, I wouldn't even suggest it. You know what I'm saying? Like for me
Right.
personally, I don't want to live like that. I work,
Right.
I'm at my maximum capacity when I'm out, like when I'm comfortable enough to be
Right.
like all my basic needs are met. Then I could really like
Yeah.
shape and move and have time to let my mind think about shit I want to do and calculate and execute. You know what I'm saying? So but
Absolutely.
everybody's journey is a little bit different.
Right.
So
Everyone's different.
um,
Everyone. Go ahead.
yeah, no, I was going to get into Cass's point here. He said, I think results matter too. You have to have some type of sample size that shows that you have a future in the risk you're about to take.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Agreed.
Having some data that shows that your goal is important now too. Yeah, that's a fact, man. Just taking that risk to do it on a larger scale, and that's a fact, man. Like, and that this going back to what we were saying
Right.
is taking those smaller risks first.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's really cool that you said that, Cass, is because with me and Z, we realized the same exact thing. We've taken some wins in things that we didn't even put 100%
Right.
into. You know what I'm saying? So like, like we was like, how much at your most time of putting into music, what percentage were you
Right.
giving? And we both said probably like 35% for real. You know what I mean? What does that look like at 75? You know what I mean? If we,
Right.
does that double the wins if we double the effort? So
Yeah.
that's
Right.
a big thing. Is like, maybe start taking those small risks
Right.
Yeah.
and then see, if it's important enough to you,
And
you can scale up,
to
So
that point, like when you're truly breaking it down on like a music scale, everything you do is a risk. Every song you put out is a
Right.
risk, right?
Yeah.
fact.
Like you're taking risk every time, and it sounds so minimal. It's like, yeah, I just dropped a new song, but like you're taking risk every time. Like, you're putting your thoughts and your intentions out into the world for it to be judged, right?
That's a
And
fact.
like I think a lot of people aren't even willing to take that risk in the first, like that small risk in the like like a lot of people sit on things forever because they're scared of how people, like what people are going to think, and
Yeah.
like
Facts.
that's all hard to deal with, man. Like like
Yeah.
we as creatives, like the worst thing that you want to hear is that like somebody like say like your stuff is trash, like
Yeah.
like no one wants to hear that, but it's like we take that risk every time we put something out, right? Like every time you put out some kind of content, like you just have to like deal with it. But like at the end of the day, I think there is a point where you realize what I'm making is quality. Like
Right.
and okay, I did this once before. Like, can I do it again? And like
Right.
willing to keep stepping up to the plate and keep trying things over and over again.
Right.
And P and I, we were talking about it recently. It's just like like what we're trying to do. Like the reason why it's such a huge risk is because like we're trying to accomplish something that no one we know has ever done before.
Facts.
Like there is like, yeah, we could go study, we could go read books, we could go like watch people's success stories, we could go watch J. Cole's and Kendrick's and all their success stories, but we could follow we could follow Jay-Z's success story to the T and still
Right.
not work for us. That's the crazy thing about being a creative, is just like everyone's journey is very unique to themselves. And like,
Right.
I could go out and do exactly what Hove did, and it just could not work
Right.
for me. Like there is no blueprint to this. There's no
Right.
course that I can go and study and figure out how to become a successful musician. Like,
Right.
like I could do it all I want to, but at the end of the day, like when you put yourself out there and figure it out, like like you're just taking a huge risk at the end of the day. And like we're trying to accomplish something that no one we know has ever done, and it's just like that is a huge risk, but it's just like that's a risk that I'm willing to take. Like that's a risk that I'm willing to figure it out, because I've had that sample of what that feels like, and it's just like it's an amazing feeling. It feels
Right.
good, and it's like I've never felt more alive than when I'm in those moments.
Right.
Like when we were on stage in Africa, bro, I've never felt more like you never. It's something that you can't even explain, bro. Like the sentiment of just
Yeah.
like like, bro, I wish you was there, DJ,
I'm
because
so
like that was easily our best performance, like, of our life. Like, bro, like, when I tell you, like, that pivotal moment in life, like, that was it,
That
bro.
was the moment, bro. That was
That
it. That was it.
That was the moment, bro. Like, and it's just, I can't even, like, I literally just can't even describe what that feeling feels like, but I knew I was doing what I was meant to be doing on this planet. Like, you know, like, I knew that's where I was supposed to be. And I'm like, when you've experienced that high, it's just like, I need more. Like, I got, like, you know, like, and it's just like, you got to pursue it, right? You know, and it's just like, man, like, at the end of the day, we're taking a huge risk, but it's worth it, man. Like, it truly is worth it, and I'm willing to see it through. And I think that's not even think. That's why I'm in Virginia now, en route to New York for that reason. So.
No, I love it. And one thing I think Ramond mentioned is like we can measure, we can look at the smaller wins, right? But sometimes I'll also say that even the losses, bro, the failures too, we can learn from that, right?
That's a fact.
Because if you try something, for example, when I started investing, right, I lost a couple $1,000. I lost it, right?
Yeah.
But in the process of me losing, I was able to like learn, right? Maybe I shouldn't do it this way. Maybe I should take time. Maybe I should learn more about what I'm doing.
Of course.
So I just think overall, just failure shouldn't also stop you from keep pushing or pursuing what you want to do.
Yeah.
Just learn from that failure. Try again. Find ways to, like, get more knowledge, acquire more skill set, and try again. Because I believe once something's on your mind, bro, that's like your intuition or whatever is telling you that that's your purpose, man. Go for it. Because at the end of the day, you're never gonna be fulfilled if you don't really go and pursue that. And for me, bro, sometimes when we have ideas, we want to put it out there. We are afraid that what other people might think. It's just the other people's criticism of us, bro. Sometimes that is scary. Like, we don't want to try. What people think about, so by that thought, other people critiquing us, we are afraid to, like, put ourselves out there. By the end of the day, man, life itself is a risk, bro. So like everything's a risk. So for me now, I'm just learning to just whatever's on my mind, just pursuing that. Cause life is short. At the end of the day, like, you gotta go and pursue what you want.
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes you might fail along the way, but there's a higher possibility too that you could succeed. So why not
That's for sure.
And I don't want to live my life with regret.
Absolutely.
I don't want to be 50 years old when I don't have the energy. Like, damn, when I was 25, 33, I should have done that. And for me, that's kind of like my mindset right now.
Yeah.
I should have tried, man. It's my pops used to, he tells me something like, what would you in 10 years wish you was doing right now? You know what I'm saying? And that's like something that I think about often is like 10 years from now, I might be like, if when I was 32, I should have done this, or, you know what I mean? And it's just, they always say big risk, big reward, but they don't, the truth is no risk, no reward at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's really no, if you do take the risk, possibly something happens, right? But if you don't, you for sure nothing's gonna happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a big piece, man.
And
honestly,
I wanted to just ask too, just like while anybody who's in the comments, man, I wanted to ask y'all just directly, like, what's something that you want to take a risk on but might not have it, might not have, that you haven't taken a risk on. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And
for sure.
You can request to join too, though. And Mark was like, I think I've lost around 300K in business, but that hasn't slowed me down. I believe all of that got me ready for what I'm doing. I love it, bro. On the day, man, why slow down? You already lost it, right? We're like, fuck it, I lost. I'm just gonna, like, sit here. You keep trying, just learn from that. Same thing, man. I lost a lot of money investing, but I took some time off and learned, and then keep pushing and learning.
I think losses are the best lessons in life.
Right.
They are.
Winning feels great, but like losing sucks, and it's a feeling that, like, you don't want to ever feel that feeling again. It's just like, all right, how do I ensure that this does not happen again? Like, like this, you might fail again, you might lose some more money. Like I'm gonna make sure that, like, I'm probably not gonna play that Shopify option ever again in life.
Right.
Boy.
Because I can tell you from personal experience, I will never play an option on Shopify ever again in life, because I learned a very expensive lesson from that.
Right.
Just let me not go do this again. I might lose more money at some point, taking some other risks, but I know for damn sure that again.
Come on, man.
But those losses in life, man, like they they help shape a lot of like what it is that you're trying to do, and like pivoting and figuring it out, like, you know, because winning only can teach you so much. You know, I think it's lose. It's truly like it puts things into perspective for you. You know, like kind of thing, and that's why I think they're the biggest lessons in life. But let's see what anybody putting anything here in the comments.
PK just asked if we saved the live videos. We need to get them all uploaded to our YouTube, for sure, man. We do have them all saved, but we don't have them in a place where you can watch them fully yet. So we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that soon, though. We're gonna get that real soon, man. A couple people requested that too, so we'll have those soon for sure.
We're gonna we just, you know, especially with Thanksgiving and stuff coming up, but like, you know, starting next week though, we gonna be back in action, like for real, you know. So
what's something that, I mean, I know y'all are both risk takers, but what's like a risk that you haven't taken yet that you know, for some reason it's like, you know, you're not jumping towards?
I mean, for me, it's like, you know, like I say, quitting my job, because that's something I want to do, and just quit my job and pursue entrepreneurship full time. But that's something I haven't completely done. But that's something I'm working towards, right? I'm the type of person, though, even like Zenas said, I'm trying to position myself in a way that once I quit my job, I would be good in the sense that I wouldn't have to try to figure it out and get that other income coming in. So that's something I've been thinking about. And it's risky, bro. The thought of it is like not having health insurance, all that shit, right? It's kind of damn. But I believe, man, in order for you to like grow, you have to leave that comfort zone, man. You have to push yourself. And that's, I feel like, to get to that next level, that's what it requires sometimes.
Yeah.
And
That's a
agreed.
fact.
Agreed. For myself, I think a risk that I haven't taken yet that I really want to take is living overseas. You know, I think that's the big risk that I want to take at some point. I think the biggest reason why it is risky is because obviously, like, it's not like just moving to a new state, right? Like, it's moving to an entirely different country. You know, like you're further away from like all of your people, like anything that you're comfortable with. Like, you know, like you're completely away from that, and I think that's why it is a big risk, but I really want to take it. I don't know if it's necessarily something that I'll do in like the immediate future, but in the long term, I do see myself at least trying to. You know, like I'm the type of person. I'm actually talking to my brother about this earlier. Is like, I don't know if I necessarily see myself as the type of person who's going to live in any one particular place for longer than like 4 or 5 years. You know, and realistic, like, you know, like I'm the type of person, like, I feel like I experience my most exponential growth after I move and like get myself out of my comfort zone. And I think that's another big reason why I left Dallas as well, is just because Dallas was cool, but like I'm the type of person, I don't like complacency, and like I don't like being in one place too long and stuff. I got to shake it up in order for me to experience growth and like, you know, like challenging my thought process and all that stuff. And so that being said, you know, like I think new country, like I'd honestly like to live in a new country where I don't know the language too, because I think that would challenge me in a particular way, and just like wanting to like learn a new language. I think there's no better way to learn a new language than to just submerge yourself in the culture, you know, right? So I think that's something that I will take eventually. Like I said, I don't necessarily see that happening in the immediate future, but I'm taking that leap probably in the next like 5 to 10 years.
What about you, Ramond?
Man, that's tough. Man, I hate y'all because y'all said the two things that I was thinking of when I said it. Like literally living overseas. You know, we tasted it. We're living in Vienna, but and then quit my job, man. And it's really, I think it's just being tied to, it's being tied to a certain level of comfort. You know what I mean? Just to be perfectly honest, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like there's a certain level that I don't want to dip under. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain level of that. And then there's certain things, to be honest, like when you start learning about business, that it's easier when you have a job, right? It's easier to have like a paper trail of stuff to show, like I have this income coming in order to buy and apply for this. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things like that. So those are my two, I would say my two big ones. And maybe just to add on to what Z's saying, and it's something that I'm playing with the idea of is buying land overseas too. You know what I mean? Just like, you know what I mean? So that's something that a risk that I haven't taken. But you know, I'm looking at, you know, after going to Rwanda.
Let's go to Africa, bro. Let's go to Africa, man. Liberia.
We're going, man. You gonna plug me in there?
No, but that's something I'm actually thinking about though, because I was there in May, and with my brother, we built an apartment in
Yeah.
Liberia. But hopefully next year I'm going. But that's something because I want like a
Hopefully,
beach
are you
house.
doing it or not?
No, it depends on other things that I'm working on too, Z.
Okay.
But
All
it's
right.
gonna happen, right? But I'm thinking about getting a land by the beach, bro, because I want like a beach house, right, facing the ocean. So that's something I myself want to do as well. I want to buy land out there too, with
Word.
like a nice spot by the beach. So whenever I'm on vacation, I just have like a dope ass crib
That
right by the ocean.
was fun.
So,
Yeah.
so for
That's the
sure, we should definitely look into that.
listen. Like, I'm all about real estate, and obviously everything, but like owning overseas, and especially in Africa, bro. Like, like
Right.
that's, there's a lot of places that I want to own land, but I think owning land in the motherland that's it. That is it. Another risk that I want to take is going to space as well. Whenever Elon figures out the
Nah,
whole,
either.
whole recreational space travel stuff, I
Nah,
definitely want to go to.
did you hear about the Titan, the submersible? I ain't doing that
Bro, like I'm not messing with the ocean, bro. Like, I'm not messing.
You
I'm
mess with
Man,
space over the ocean? You going space over the ocean?
yeah, I'm thinking ocean over space. I
I am.
said no, no, no.
Think about it, bro. Like, look at how long have humans been present on this earth, and we've only explored 10% of the ocean, bro. I don't want nothing to do with the ocean, bro. Like, I don't want to explore the other 90%.
Bro,
Right.
how much of space have we explored though?
That's,
Come on. Come on, man.
Hey, I'll have to agree with Ramond on this one, bro. We have to.
that's okay. Look, like, all I'm saying is, like, it's gonna be a slightly calculated risk, because I'm not gonna be the first one. I'm not gonna be the number one passenger on the very first spacecraft, to go to
In the front seat. In the front seat with it.
all right, y'all. No, I'm gonna let them figure out the kinks. Let them do maybe 100 trips, over a couple of years, and I'll be like, all right, cool. Now, y'all, I think y'all got it figured out now. I'm gonna just pop out to space, bro. Shoot, I'll go on a weekend cruise or something like that out in space, and come back. Cool. That was cool, bro.
If I did do space ever, I had to just be older. If I was like 75 and still able-bodied, I'd be like, man, if this is my last trip, I done lived a good life, baby.
I,
Yeah.
I agree with him. I'll push it up. I'll say 80, 85.
If this goes south, boy, I already lived, man. I did
like,
everything that I wanted
like,
to.
like right now, nah, man. It's not for me though. But back to the topic, right? Marcus said losing feels worse than winning feels good. What do you guys think about that?
It's a fact.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why,
Absolutely.
and that's actually to connect to that point was kind of what Z was saying. That's why the lessons come from the losses, is because it feels so bad. You like, bro, so what the fuck do I need to do to not let this shit happen again?
Right,
You know what I'm saying? I think those losses are just you know what I mean? It's and you don't know what happened when you win. It's what even did I do?
right,
You know what I mean? You could get
right,
lucky and
right,
win. You
right.
could get lucky and win. You know what I mean?
Facts.
But when you lose, it's bro, that shit don't feel good. It's
Right,
I need to change something. I need to go
right,
back to the drawing boards, and we're not gonna look this same way. If you look at sports, right? We lose a game, we
right,
can't do. We need to clean up this, that, and this. You know what I mean? We
right,
cannot do this again.
Yeah.
right.
So I definitely feel that,
Uh,
which is a weird thing, right? Because everybody wants to win, but they
right.
don't feel as good as a loss.
I think
We feel
you built
bad. You know what I mean?
right. I think you just built that mindset overall. It makes you stronger, right? Because if you go through, if you ever been through a hard time, it just overall make you stronger mentally, and it takes a lot more to get you down and debilitated, right? Because I already been
Mhm.
through this before. It's you already been through a heartbreak. So now this other heartbreak is not really gonna kill you compared to the first heartbreak. So
Yeah.
I do believe that I mean, you don't want to lose everything, right? But some type of loss
Yeah. No.
can help you mentally prepare for the future and
Mhm.
kill it. 'Cause through losses, you learn a lot.
Yeah. And also, I think another type of loss that um really dictates your identity and who you are as a person is losing the loss of loved ones too. I
Right,
think that's another huge thing. When you talk about loss and redefining who you are, I think that's another big thing too. It completely changes your trajectory like just understanding like the how like mortal we truly are.
Right.
Like, you know, like it's just like things like that happen. It's just like you truly realize how short life is. Like, you know, like and I don't think anything can truly brace you for like that loss,
Right.
or like there you can, like, you know, the only thing that might be like the slight difference is maybe like the loss of an elderly person, like, you know, because like
Right.
you might have been able to like prepare for the
Right.
blow, you know, kind of thing.
Right.
But the loss of loved ones too, like I think that's another huge thing that it's just like you realize also, like, you know, P and I, we talk about this pretty often, is like the people that you lose, like they're such a spark in your life that you just want to continue their legacy for them, like, you know, like and I think that helps instill that helps fuel even more fire within you to accomplish everything that you've ever wanted to accomplish, because they're no longer here and they're no longer present in the physical space to be able to do the things that they wanted to do. So it's like I almost feel like the pressure to fulfill that for them, you know, like and to continue their legacy. And so I think that's another thing, like, you know, we always talk about loss a lot. I think that's another huge piece of life that truly does help dictate how you're going to move from here on out, forever, honestly.
That's what's up. That's real. And shout out to Q baby in the building, man. Be easy, you know what I mean? He's one of the he's one of the ones that took a real like a real risk that we all talked about that we wanted to do. Z's taking it right now in real life, you know, as far as I don't know if the company knows it yet, but leaving the gig, but be easy, man. You know, Q baby, man, with his hauling company and moving company, trash junk removal, man.
Yeah.
You know, was making good money at his job, but, you know, took the leap at, you know what I mean, buying the truck, figuring it out on the go, and still is every day, and starting that business, man, and really working for himself now, man. And it's just beautiful to see, man, you know, like knowing behind the scenes some of the hurdles that he has to go over and stuff like that. And he's going to have to continue to go over, man. But like those hurdles is like, he's probably learning something new every day about the business, about trucks, about the industry, about the government, how they look at stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it's inspiring to see, man, that like to really take that jump of being like an entrepreneur for real. You know, he always had that spirit too. I always told him that, but to like, you know, it's not like he's like thinking about it anymore, like he's living it. You know what I'm saying? So that's fire, bro.
Yeah. It's inspiring, man. It really is. Like, you know, like I think we all know people personally who have taken that leap of faith, you know, like and fully embraced that entrepreneurship, you know, like kind of thing. And honestly, with every story, like Be Easy, you know, specifically, like I feel more and more inspired, and honestly just more and more like it almost makes it like seem a little bit more sane for me to do it, because it's just like, you know what, like I'm not saying that I can do anything like that anybody else is doing. I'm not trying to go and do I'm not trying to go and do what Marco is doing. I'm not trying to do what my homeboy Hector is doing with his gym and stuff like that. But it makes me feel more confident in me taking my own leap in my journey and figuring out what my entrepreneurial journey looks like. It makes me feel more confident in that, because it's just like, you know, like we may not be doing exactly the same thing. Like, you know, like Diamond, we may not be working in the exact same business, but at the end of the day, we can all help each other in some way. Like, you know, I know that all the people that we're connected to, they're all more than willing to share any advice or like any, like, you know, like hardships, any hurdles that they've had to go through and stuff like that. Cause it's just like, bro, this shit isn't built for the weak, right? You know, like you know, like, so you truly gotta be, you have to have that grit to you, you know, you gotta be willing to, like, you know, like take some, you know, like, and whatever the case may be. But everybody can offer advice in some way, you know, like, and I know that I could go to Diamond. I know I could go to Marco. I know I could go to Be Easy. Like, you know, all these people, you know, who would be able to offer me some kind of insight. Like I said, we may not be on the exact same journey, but at the end of the day, y'all are doing it, and I truly appreciate that. Like, you know, and I like that's a huge thing, man, and it's so inspiring. And you know, come January, I'm joining the club, baby. I'm joining the club. Come
on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. We firing the day jobs. That's the quest. We gonna fire them, man. They not gonna get this year. We gonna fire them, bro.
But Z, even your story is inspiring to me, bro. Like, you taking it
for sure.
Faith. Lately, it got me thinking. It got me doing my calculation, right? Like figuring my numbers. Okay, maybe my timeline might be a little bit longer, right? Let me readjust to see how quickly I could get to that part. So it's just inspiring to every one of us, man, seeing people in your own circle. Because for me, like, if Z can do that, I can do it too. That's how I look at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can do it too. I just got to figure it out and go in pursuit of that.
And we want
And one thing,
we want you to
I
too.
mean,
Anyway,
gonna happen.
You gonna do it.
It's gonna happen. It's not about it. Just wait. It's gonna happen. You know, just soon. Because for me, it's like I think I'd rather, because things are going good. I'd rather use the other, income to invest in other things, right, to keep it growing. So just having the free time. So for me, I'm still trying to figure it out. It's not just one right way to do everything, right?
yeah,
You can still figure it out. So for me, that's kind of like what I'm doing right now.
yeah,
Still figuring it out and getting there. And also entrepreneurship, bro, I think it's one of those things. It's risky, right? I think that's why a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
don't do it. Because 9 to 5, go there, show up,
Yeah.
and get your paycheck, bro. When it comes to entrepreneurship, day in and day out, 7 days a week, you are responsible for everything that goes wrong with the business, everything that goes
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
If something goes wrong, you're the one going to fix it. You're not calling your manager. No. So I think the fear of just having that much responsibility deter a lot of people from doing that.
Agreed.
But I believe at the end of the day, the reward, right, is more fulfilling because you have more risk and responsibility, in my opinion.
That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of goes into what Be Easy saying too. He said a wage will never be better than a profit.
Fact.
I'm gonna speak from my own experience, bro. I have never got a check from a job that felt better than getting a check from music.
Fact.
It just feels different. You know
Fact.
what I'm saying? It
Fact.
just feels different, bro. When you thought up the idea, created something, whatever business that is, and then get paid off of that thing that you built. The wage will never feel like that. It can't. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think so, personally. So,
Mm-mm.
bro, that's
My
fine.
account manager job could deposit a $500,000 check in my account right now, and I'd be excited. But if I got that same $500,000 check from gig, bro, or something, bro, it's not even a comparison. The amount might be the same,
Right.
but that comes from two completely different things.
Yeah.
The two completely different. It's never gonna like put that. Nah.
Yeah.
And I think that's how like truly like what you need to pursue and what your purpose is, because like when you have those sentiments, when you feel those things, it's just like we'd be fools to honestly ignore those, right? Like that feeling that we had in Africa, like I'd be a fool to just be like,
right.
yeah, like that was cool, but like I'm gonna
No,
just
that
go
wasn't
back.
just cool.
Like,
That wasn't just cool.
Like I'd have to be a clown to just be like, all right, like I was just
Right.
And when you've invested so much of yourself into something, like I've told a couple people, like I made the whole announcement about like moving to New York, recently, but like I was just like, this is just something that I have to see through, like at the end of the day, just for myself, like, more than anything, just like this is just something I have to see through, and I think that's when that the risk is, like when you experience things like that, and especially when you have people who are completely behind you in so many ways, that's when, like, because I don't know if there's ever a perfect time, right? Like I think we're all searching for that perfect opportunity, that perfect time to take that leap of faith and all that stuff. And I found myself in a position where I was like, okay, I had been ready to take a leap of faith for a while now, and I was in a position where like, okay, I don't have anything holding me back. I don't have a wife.
Right.
I don't have kids. Like I'm in this position where I can take a little bit more risk, because like I don't know, like it's different when you have like a spouse or you have kids or anything.
Right.
Okay. All right. But I think a big thing is just like, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying.
You
just taking that risk with you don't have kids, you don't have a wife.
Oh yeah. Like when every decision you make impacts in a completely different being, like whether that be a child, whether that be a spouse, whatever, you have to be a lot more calculated. But I think like when you are in a position which honestly, well, I'm not gonna say a lot of us, but like some of us are, like we're like, like we're single, we don't have kids and stuff like that, like I can be a little bit more like I can be a little bit more risky with every decision. It's like at the end of the day, I know it's all gonna fall back on me, and that's the pressure that I'm okay with dealing with. I'm okay with it, like with it impacting me. Like now, if I had children or like like a wife, those different types of things, that's a completely different story. Because just like, man, I don't know if I want to take that much of a
Right.
leap, you know, just knowing
Right.
that I have to worry about all this and that and this person and how are we gonna make this work and all that stuff. But yeah, I found myself in a position. I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
I'm gonna do it. Like, you know, I don't know if they're like, I was sitting here waiting for that perfect opportunity. You know, I'm like, is it ever gonna come around? And
Right.
I don't know if this is the perfect opportunity to do it, but it's never felt more right to me. You know,
Right.
and I think that's the best time to do something is when it just feels right. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
we can crunch all the numbers we want to, you know, like we can sit here and ponder and think and draw on whiteboards and do all this,
Right.
all that, but at the end of the day, like, you just have to do what feels right. And
Right.
at the end of the day, I think, like, you know, you just kind of follow your gut instinct. You know, like they always tell you that your gut instinct is always right, you know, like kind of
Right.
thing. And I do believe that, you know, like I felt like this was the moment to do it, and, you know, seeing it through, you know. So yeah, I hope y'all get that gut soon, man, because y'all need to go ahead and join the club, man.
We
What's
are
up?
we're gonna be part of that. What did Marcus said? We got our first check last week, and man, I'm feeling, oh shit, I'm officially a legitimate business now.
Come
Hey,
on, man.
congrats,
Come on.
bro. That's
There
We
you
out for
go.
presidents to represent me.
That's
I'm
it.
out for presidents. Come on, man. Get
Templates
that
in the
money, brother.
shout out
Good, congrats, baby. That's what's up.
shout out to templates, man. You know, like
Yeah, that's hard.
Right.
yeah,
That's hard.
Marco's doing his thing on the staffing side of things, man. So, you know, I love that for you. I love that for you, bro. Like
Yeah.
I
Absolutely,
genuinely
man.
do.
The
He
whole
sent me
squad, the whole squad winning.
a picture of that first check, and I was just like, bro, like that's and I guarantee you that check that you received is better than any check you ever received from any wage, any corporate job,
Then
anything like
then the Western Hotel, man. I remember we was in there together, boy.
Hey, Dino and Marco. Next time we see Marco, Dino and
Come
Marco.
on, man.
Yo,
Dinner on
but
the
before
business.
I think before we conclude, because today we don't have that much time. One thing I think when it comes to race, right, we always think about it as something always negative, right? But I think sometimes race can be a little bit beneficial overall if you look at it from
yeah.
that other perspective. I think just the thought of it, oh, it's a race.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to like even try to do that, right? It's a race. But at the end of the day, sometimes imagine if you never have that courage to go and talk to that girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like for somebody who meet a woman now today, they got married. If you didn't have that courage to talk to that woman,
Right.
she wouldn't have been your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a possibility she would have rejected you or call you names, but at the end of the day, by you doing that, you were able to get what you want. So race is not always, negative. Sometimes it can be positive. It depends on it. And sometimes you're gonna feel like we talked about
I
earlier. But at the end of the day, I
totally
believe it. Once it's in your heart, man, if you have something that you want to do, if you think about it day in and day and night, just go in pursuit of it. Start small. No matter your situation, you might have family. Just be a little bit smarter and just go in pursuit of that.
I to your point, Diamond, I think honestly, for the people who have that feeling and ultimately never take that leap or like, you know, just take that step, I honestly think their fear of failure trumps their idea of success. You know, like
Right.
at the end of the day, like if you believe yourself in so much to the point that like you're willing to take that leap of faith, I think that's where that's where that switch flips. And it's just like, okay, like I believe in my abilities to succeed more than I believe in my ability to fail. And
Facts.
that's why
That's
I
right.
take that risk. You know, like when you find yourself in that position, that's you're just gonna do it. You know, like, but if you ever find yourself having those thoughts and just like, you know, like, well, maybe now is not the right time, you know, like I'm just, you know, and then a year turns into 2 years, two
Right.
years turns into 5.
You got a lock in the back of your truck.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I just think you find yourself. I think some people just find themselves always with that fear of failure, always.
Right.
And granted, I think in entrepreneurship, whenever you're doing something that requires risk, there might be a thought in the back of your mind that like I could fail, but
Right.
like maybe I'm just so naive in the fact that I'm like, nah, bro, like I'm not going to fail. I may fail at
Right.
some point, but just being an overall failure, no, I
Right.
will not ever be that. I will not allow myself to be that, you know, kind of thing. And I think that's where that switch flips, you know, like, and if people don't ever find themselves taking that leap, I just think they failure more than they believe in themselves in their ability to succeed at what that is that they want to do. And that's
Right.
not necessarily a bad thing, you know, but like at some point you got to do it, right? You got to,
Absolutely.
nothing great came without risk, you know, like None
Right.
of the Jeff Bezos, you know, the Bill Gates, none of that, none of them would have been successful if they didn't take a
Right.
risk. You know, like whether they dropped out of college and, you know, had a plan or whatever the case may be, you know, like you had to do something. Tyler Perry living out of his, you know, car for
Right.
years. Like but he believed in his play so much that he was just like, no, this is gonna work out. You know,
Right.
like I said, I think the belief in yourself and your ability to succeed, if that trumps your fear of failure, you'll do it. You'll do it. That's
Yeah. And one thing that PK said, I don't know if you got to get out like a hard stop, Z, but
good.
PK said, how do you make the transition into that mind frame? And I just wanted to add something to that. Marco said the big thing is start with books, and it's really just it's learning in general, and then like really just investing into some type of craft because
Right.
at a certain point you'll realize like you'll see somebody in a similar position that you want to be in and be like, I could do that though.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they not doing nothing. I can't. You know what I mean?
Fact.
After a certain point, you like that, you know, and that's when you start being like, well, let me try
Right.
it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like I said, start small, man. You don't gotta you don't have to, you know what I'm saying, quit the job and drive to New York. You don't have to.
Right.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? But do something small first. You know,
Right.
Z
yeah.
probably made a small, like a lot of small risks before the big one.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think those are big pieces. And just want to say, what up, John, man? It's always dope having legends in the building, man. What
Yeah.
up, John?
Right.
But
No,
pause
I agree.
question.
I would say just if something challenges you, if you're afraid to do something small, just go ahead and do it, right? For me, a little thing. If you're afraid of public speaking, just record yourself speaking and post it on IG. Just learning to just overcome
That's a
those little
fact.
fears.
That's a
Because end of the day, you're like, damn,
fact.
what people gonna say
Yeah.
about me, right? Because I used to be the same way, but you just have to do those things. Push yourself. If you want to ask someone, if you want to ask a girl out, go and ask her out. Don't say, damn, I see her over there. I'm not gonna say anything. Just go and do it, right? Just slowly pushing yourself to do those little things, and over time, by doing those little things, it's just gonna help build more confidence too,
Yep.
and then that will give you the courage to like pursue bigger things. So that's what I would say. Just
Conquer
do it, man. Little things, bro.
small goals. That's a good one, bro.
Yeah,
Conquer small risks. Take some small risks. That's fire though.
yeah.
That's a good one, bro.
Little by little,
Let's do
bro.
this.
So we get there.
Yeah.
You got to, man. I don't think we always talk about scalability, you know, like we talked about it earlier on this live. It's just like you don't go from zero to a
Right.
million like firstly, like, and I think that's what a lot of people assume that entrepreneurship and risk and all that stuff is. You go from zero to like 1,000. No, go from 0 to 10. You know,
Right.
10 to 20,
Right.
20 to 50 to 100. Like, you know, it's not like this is something that happens overnight. You know, this is literally years of failure, of success, of falling flat on my face, of like, you know, picking myself back up and, you know, experiencing these highs and then these lows. And then it's just like over that time, with every decision that you're making, every step that you take, you're gaining a little bit more confidence every time. Even if you
Yep.
do fail, it's like, okay, I failed, but like I feel a little bit more confident because like I know not do that again, and I know that what I do need to do in order to succeed you know, so everything
Yeah.
that you do, gain a little bit more confidence in yourself every step along the way, and then eventually get to that point where you're on the edge, and that's where you take that giant leap, you know, like then that's where you go from like maybe like 10,000 to 100,000 or 100,000 to a million.
Right.
It's not like you just went from 0 to, you know, 100,000. Like no,
Yeah.
like this is something that takes time. It takes, you know, effort, literally years.
Mhm.
You know, like it's you know, Diamond, with, you know, you building your business, like this isn't something that happened overnight. Like, you know, like you know, shout out to you, you know, like, and obviously like the things that you've been able to accomplish and stuff like that, you know, but I know soon enough you will take that leap, and I know you know, and I just love that for y'all. You know, like
Appreciate it, bro.
I can't wait to welcome y'all with open arms
Hey,
and love. Like, what's up, baby?
I'm
get
coming,
there,
man.
bro.
I'm
We get
coming,
there.
man. I'm coming. You know what I'm saying?
We take in turn, like I told you, right? Like my brother, now he quit his job. Now he's managing the business full time, you know. So we slowly getting there. One step, yeah.
He quit.
Yeah, been like
Oh,
over like a month now, bro.
I need to holler at Arm. I need
Yeah,
to.
so we getting there, man. Yeah,
That's fire.
he's quit. He's doing that full time. I'm slowly transitioning there, figuring this shit out. That's the goal, bro. Because at the end of the day, man, I think just like I love my job. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't give me that feeling like knowing that I can create something on my own.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard, it's challenging. By the end of the day, bro, like I'll be lit at night, bro, like 1 a.m. still be working, and I'm not even mad, bro. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I dare you, like my manager asked me to work at 1 a.m. at night.
Nah, the disrespect, brother. You work at 1 a.m. Whatever you telling me to do,
Yeah.
you do it. You know.
But like, bro, I would be working, bro, because at the end of the day, I know what I'm building, right? It's my business. So at the end of the day, I know it's gonna be rewarding in the long term.
Yep.
So for me, it's like it's fun doing it. It doesn't feel like work. So I kind of like understand when people say, yeah, don't get me wrong. There's some days I don't want to be there. I want to do something else, right? But overall, that's everything else. I'm sure if you have kids, some days you don't want to be around your kids. All day, some days you don't want to be around your girl, right? You still love her. But the point is doing what you love or building something. It just gives you that great feeling, bro. Like you're doing something that you're here for.
Exactly. Exactly.
Doing something that you're here for, brother, and that you created, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
and Usman said, "What's up, fella? What's up, Usman? How you doing,
What's
brother?"
good?
What up, Uzi?
What's good? Ooh,
What's good, brother? Come on, he got successful in his at name.
Yeah,
You know it's up
Usman
over there.
success. I love it.
You know it's up over there.
no,
I love it. But before we conclude, I know Z, you have to leave. Like any final remarks and things you want to like share.
I'll go last.
Okay, and I'll go first since that was my idea. And for me, it's just like everything is like life in itself is risky, man. Like overall, every single day, right? When we leave our house, there's so many things out there trying to kill us or hurt us. So risk is part of life itself. At the end of the day, we shouldn't allow race to stop us. If you're somebody have a family, have kids, if you want to do something, if you've been thinking about it, that means that's something you want to do. It's not just going to go away. That thought is not just going to go away.
That's a
Either you're
fact.
just going to ignore it, like Ramond talked about. You said about something about procrastination. Beautiful. What was the terminology you used last week
Oh,
about procrastination?
oh yeah.
Saying
What is it?
saying I'll do it after the new year is the sexiest, like a New Year's resolution. It's the sexiest form of procrastination.
Right.
For real
It
though.
is sexy, right? Because you know in the back of your mind you want to do those things. You know you want to go to the gym. You know you want to be in a great shape. But you're just afraid because if I go to the gym, other people might look at me because I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know deep down in your mind. I feel like once that thought is there, that's
Yep.
something that God, whatever the universe put in your mind, so you just got to do it. Because at the end of the day,
Yep.
you're never gonna be fulfilled until you get it done.
Yep.
So that'll be my
Yep.
close remark, man. Just go, no matter your situation, start small. If you have family, start small, figure it out, but always get what you want to get done. Do it, man. It's gonna be rewarding. Do it.
That's a fact, bro. I'm just kind of add on to what you said, man, and what Marco said, man. Is just like you feel a little bit more confident when you learn about what you're trying to do, when you learn what it kind of takes to get there. So kind of like educating yourself on specific things and then creating a plan for it. You know what I mean? Both those things, it kind of just like it doesn't really matter what happens when when you start doing it, but you're doing it at that point. You learned what to do, and then you have a plan to do it. So you're starting to do it and starting to do it small. One thing that I wanted to add to the conversation is sometimes just do it when nobody's looking too, because like
Right.
sometimes when people's looking, it feels weird to do it, right? It
Right.
feels weird, like I feel uncomfortable to do it. Do it when nobody's looking, man. I don't, you could carve an hour out of sleep before or after you usually go to sleep and get another hour in, of life in, and just do it when nobody's looking. And it's going to be a lot easier to do it when people are looking. You know what I mean?
Right.
Small example is I started playing with DJing just a little bit. I was just doing it every weekend by
Yep.
myself because I wanted to learn how to do. You know what I mean? Asking Z questions and stuff and just playing with it. Then started posting small clips of me, you know what I mean? And getting some good feedback, bad feedback, whatever. You know what I mean?
And that boy
And then, but
Cole. That
and
boy
then,
Cole.
did like a little 15 minutes set in Africa. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know what I'm saying? Like that, it's really just like start when nobody's looking though.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's a big one. And then
Right.
you'll slowly get more comfortable about doing it when people are looking. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
yep.
That boy DJ Swims, boy,
Come
he
on, man.
played it for me. I was like, hey, this
Come
nigga
on,
rap.
man.
Shout out to the for that. But I got three things to say in regards to risk. First, at the end of the day, like you can be as calculated as you want to be. Like you can study, you can do all this and that.
Right.
You gotta take that risk at some point. Like
Right.
and you either make it happen or you make excuses. One of the two.
Right.
One of those things is gonna happen. like at the end of the day. So don't overthink. Like I'm an overthinker, so I find myself overthinking all the time. Don't overthink yourself out of like taking that risk. Like, you know, like you can try and be a perfectionist all you want, but at some point you're just gonna have to take that risk. You know, like whether you're ready or not, you have to do it. Secondly, I would say at the end of the day, when you take risk, especially like a risk of a grand scale, I think it's something that you should be willing to do, because whether you're ready or not, and this is something that I definitely believe in. I'm a very spiritual person. I think the universe will always conspire in your favor, and when you take that risk, the universe has a crazy way of reciprocating that energy, you know, like, and we talk about it all the time. Like, I think, like, ever since I've made the decision to take this leap of faith, like literally every star in my life has aligned in a particular way, you know, and that's something that I'm extremely grateful for, you know, and I think the universe and God, like, listens to those things, you know, like at the end of the day, like, the universe and God need more of that in this life. We need more energy of people going out and taking that leap to be the best version of themselves that they can possibly. The world needs more of that. And that's why when you take that risk, I think that's why God and the universe work in your favor, because they need more of that energy. So don't be afraid to do it, because like at the end of the day, there's always going to be that fear. But when you take that leap of faith, man, like God is going to help you in ways that you could never imagine. The universe is going to help you in ways that you could never imagine. And you just can't explain, but it just happens because, you know, you were willing to take that leap of faith, and the universe was willing to repay you in ways that you could never imagine. So be willing to take that. And thirdly, whatever it is that you're willing to take, or that you're wanting to take a risk on and you're not entirely sure yet, or maybe you just want somebody to talk to, let me know, man. Like, talk to me, like, talk to anybody. Like, and I'm not saying you have to come to me directly, but just go and talk to somebody about it. Like, you know, like, there's people who want to support you. I want to see people thrive just as much. Like, you know, like, I want everybody to feel like they have someone to share their ideas with, regardless of how crazy they may be. You know, I want people to feel like that they are supported, you know, that they feel empowered, that they feel encouraged to make the best decision that they want to in life. And if I could be that person for you, I will absolutely do that. So whatever it is that you want to take that risk in life, come to me, like, or don't come to me, you know, go to a friend, go to a family member, whatever the case may be. But I want to see you become the best version of yourself, and thing that I can do, even if it's just lending an open ear, I will do it, you know, because at the end of the day, I know how sometimes how much it sucks when you just feel like things are falling on the deaf ears, or when you feel like you don't have anybody who truly supports you, or like is willing to listen to your crazy ideas and all that. But like at the end of the day, like, I think everyone in this circle is willing to do those things. And so whatever it is that you're like wanting to take a risk on, or like, you know, like you just feel like you have that grand, elaborate, crazy idea, that the vision from God, let us hear it, man. Like, you know, I want you to make it happen just as bad as you do.
What's my
And take that risk, goddamn it. That's all I'm saying. Take that.
Usman said, manifesting and speaking things into existence. I love it. I agree. No, just do it. And you know, one thing is, I just tell you, marriage is risky, bro. But a lot of us people still go into marriage, right? So why not pursue whatever goals you want to pursue? You might fail, you might succeed. So just do it, man.
Having kids is risky. You know, like everything, you know, all these things are risky, man. You know, like,
just do it.
And that's why I think taking those risks is so much more important, because like those are things that, like, you know, we're so accustomed to just taking risks, like jumping into marriage and having all these things. But when it comes to pursuing your purpose and passion in life, people are so reserved when it comes to that, and so hesitant. It's like, why, bro? Like, at the end of the day, it'll work itself out, man. Trust and believe that.
Once you're alive,
I just want to shout out to PK real quick, man. He said he's been working on video editing. He said I do think I'm scared to fail and don't study enough. I don't have a good study habit. But man, I think it, like, you know, you've been working on it. So I would say just keep working on it, like really in the background or whatever that is, you know, just keep working on it, man. And like Z said, you could always shoot us some work. And to be honest, man, that's something that we probably always might need. You might could help us do some editing on these lives or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we at least test it out. So I think Z said something big is putting yourself around people, and he said him directly, but in general, put yourself around people that don't make your ideas seem crazy, bro.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, nothing really
Right.
seems crazy to me anymore,
Right.
bro. Like, it's just it's like solving the problem. How do I figure this shit out? That's all it
Right.
is. Like, it's not crazy. Just like, what steps do I need to take to figure this shit out?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Right. All right. I just want to say big shout out to everyone that joined tonight, guys. We appreciate it. You know, thanks for joining us every week. We're gonna be consistent. We're
Yep.
gonna be doing this every Monday. Manifest Monday,
Come on,
fellas.
man.
Every Monday. We here.
Manifest
Love the community we're building.
hopes and dreams right here every Monday, baby.
Come on,
I'm a Gemini,
man.
still playing it safe, bored the shit out of me. I love it.
Same,
All right,
boy.
guys.
Gemini. You know what I'm saying?
Geminis, man. I rock with Geminis, man. I really do. I really
Come
do.
on, man.
Dude. All right, fellas. Y'all have a productive day. Let's keep going hard, man. Z,
Likewise.
Let's get it, man.
that's
Hey,
it, brother. We'll
hey,
talk to you soon.
take a risk tomorrow, man.
For sure. For sure. Let's do it.
Also, if I don't tap in with anybody before then, happy Thanksgiving, man. I hope y'all enjoy y'all's time with family and friends, and you know, take some kind of risk this week, whatever it is. You know, just Paul, you know, whatever it is with that video editing, shoot something our way. You know, do. I'm gonna hold you to it next Monday too.
Yeah, post some stuff on IG too. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm gonna check your page. I'm gonna check your page in the next week, bro.
All right, Marco.
Post something
Everyone,
on there,
thanks for
man.
joining us. Peace out,
All right,
guys.
y'all.
All right, y'all. Y'all be easy, man.